Hello, CraftyAndy here, and these are my thoughts. My YouTube journey has been banging my head against the wall for about 15 years now. Eyepatch Wolf's recent video on social media influence courses really helped me a lot more than any of these sharks ever could with their guided tasks, books, their YouTube channel videos that repeat the same shit ad nauseum, with live streams being used to siphon off money from people for surface level channel critiques.
I mean, we'll just say he calls himself an artist, but this doesn't look like art to me.
Right?
I've been on YouTube since the beginning, and let me tell you a little bit about my journey over the years. First, it was posting some random videos I happened to download while obtaining music and movies legally, yeah, of course. Then it sort of lingered for a while. I was really into art, so much so that there were many nights I would sketch away in the car while my friends got blackout drunk in Canada during our 19 and 20 years olds. We did make a bunch of videos in high school, but my friends lost interest in that for the most part. Just a few pieces made in early college, and that's all I was able to muster up from them. I discovered the Angry Nerd looking up Wikipedia on Turtles 3 one day. That became a staple of entertainment on a weekly basis.
It's hammer time!
Especially the slew of other shows long since forgotten or erased altogether. 2009, after explaining to one of my friends what furries were and that I'm a fan myself.
As an escape to reality, I like to dress up in a fursuit. It's not exactly normal.
You're damn fucking right it isn't normal.
We went to a convention together. My initial intent was to play it off as some sort of underground filming opportunity, but I opened up and got over my own personal insecurities and started posting videos around convention highlights, reigniting a creative interest in that field. Around this time, right before that, we came up with the idea to start doing a show called Straight to DVD.
Hey everybody, it's Straight to DVD with Andy.
And Dan.
Now, I love this idea, and we kind of felt our way around figuring out the importance of taking notes and writing down scripts. However, my friend was an alcoholic and had a lot of inner demons to battle, so I ended up doing all the work all myself. Up until the point that my friend would get so drunk, we couldn't even watch a movie all the way through, let alone do a review on it. So I got frustrated and tried doing it myself. There was a weird sense of negative, defeatist attitude he kept on having. I got my success though with my first review of the Human Centipede. Yes, over 100,000 views within the first week. It got me invited into the partner program at YouTube. See, first your channel had to be submitted and go under review before you got approved for monetization. In this case, I just got invited outright. I think the review itself is unwatchable. In fact, I think that applies to all my movie reviews. And believe me, I tried to keep up with this shit, but I was too distracted and juggling too many things. Going to college, not figuring out what my pursuit should be. Should it be an animator? Should I be an advertising design artist? A comic book artist? A cop? Ah, yes, indeed. I was at one point prospecting to become one American bastard. At times, I was working 2 jobs. I was mixing various content within my YouTube channel, posting furry videos, movie reviews, and later commentary. I was dipping my toe into all this nonsense, and because of the way videos were being reviewed, oftentimes they were denied monetization. YouTube in the early days, you had to submit a video one at a time to be reviewed before it was even approved of monetization, despite being part of the partner program. Oftentimes, they were denied, whether they violated any copyrights or not. They would come back with a response saying, "We don't believe that you own all the rights to this video." It wouldn't matter if it was just you talking to the camera. It would just come back automatically. And eventually, my monetization was taken away and locked out. I was a little pissed about this, so I was like, fuck YouTube. I'm going to BLIPtv. Yeah, BLIPtv. So I try to use YouTube to advertise videos being posted on Blip. I would go to midnight movie showings in order to write out a script and try to post a review of that movie as fast as I could in the same night.
That's some good OJ.
I attempted to make more content in regards to that by going over movie news, realizing I don't give a shit about movie news, and I couldn't really keep up with the movie reviews either while posting furry highlight videos, and the channel wasn't growing and Blip wasn't set up for browsing videos as much as it was for embedding, so I tried to promote my own blog on forums and my art pages, only to be accused of spamming, even though it was just the one post about the one thing I fucking made. But sure, it's spamming somehow, dumb fucks. That was 2011, and then I moved out of my parents' house and my first of later 2 husbands, who are still current. I had a sales job that was occupying me for 40 to 60 hours a week, and so even with the sprinkle of videos I was making, I wasn't getting much attention on Blip, not realizing how much YouTube changed over those years, and it was probably a better idea, but had no time to think about that. There was no free time. I was often so drained by the sales job, all I wanted to do was vegetate and play video games after my day. All my motivation and energy was being dedicated to try to make a living working for a network marketing company that sold insurance, because it was either that or work for minimum wage at a retail store part-time and afford no rent. In 2012, I finally caved to start a new YouTube channel. BLIPtv was bought out by Disney, later closed down, along with everyone else on that site. However, with the new YouTube channel, I did the exact same mistake of putting too much different shit on there and trying too many things. I started a series of open letters, commentary, convention videos, and I intended to get back into movie reviews again, but that never happened. Luckily, YouTube made it easier to have multiple channels, so after much mental resistance and taking advice from other creators, I created my channels in order to focus on those niches. So I came out with 5 YouTube channels: Ratchet Creations for blogging, furry vids, and short films; Lemur Talks for social and political issues and commentary there; Crafty Playsors for video games, now gone because I played Super Columbine Massacre RPG, and YouTube decided to just never let that channel be monetized, so I was like, fuck it, and I deleted it. A year after that was Crafty Arts, and then Furry Days to try to further separate the content into near tight categories. And then one of my husbands wanted to join the world of motovlogging. So now we have Flying Brick. Now we're up to 6. Break that down. Ratchet Creations, Lemur Talks, Crafty Playsors, Furry Days, Crafty Arts, Flying Brick. You have no fucking idea how much I would rack my brain at times trying to figure out what video would fit into what channel, because sometimes the elements would cross over. Is this one more fitted for the art channel, or is this one more fitted for the gaming channel? So much work got done, and yet so little got done. Oh, it's been 6 months since I posted on Lemur Talks. I better make a video for that channel. Oh, but I have this art piece that it needs to get finished, and it's been sitting around for months at a time too. Can't let that linger any longer. How the fuck did I not have a meltdown? I don't know. All I know is I would look at the lack of views and ask, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Why did this video not do good? Why? What do I need to do? I didn't even get into the details how my Furry Days channel got terminated and had to start over under a different name. Even when all this shit got scrapped a few years later in 2019, when YouTube eliminated partnerships for channels under 1,000 subs, I decided to keep everything to 2 channels, Weirdzors and Crafty Arts. There were times I had moments where I'd say to myself, not to worry about the numbers, not to get so discouraged by the numbers. But the reality is I was screaming and raged in my head. What the fuck am I doing wrong? What am I doing here? 2020 rolls around, and then 2021, and the slow pace of videos getting done is fucking killing me. Take this Nightmare Before Christmas Cyberpunk poster I did. I wanted to have this done in the month of November when the Cyberpunk 2077 game came out. Whether it was because of the festives I was participating in, work, video games, family visits, chores, I wasn't done with the episode until October of next year. And all I can do is look back and add up, why did this fucking take so long? I stopped all the other bullshit, I archived it, yet it took this long to get done. I could crank out a weekly video in about 6 to 8 hours, it seems, for the Crafty Thoughts thing I have going on for videos like this, for instance. There's no fucking way keeping up with that schedule should take that much away from working on bigger projects. So now, for the last few months, I've once again pretty much cut myself off from gaming altogether now. I'm going to merely regulate it to a few hours a week. In fact, that's not even happening now. It's been several months since I even played any real video games. And that's it. A weekly stream, almost daily now when it comes to doing work and keeping myself focused and productive and showcasing what's happening when it comes to writing out scripts and editing videos and doing art projects. I want to do more involved projects that take a longer time to complete, instead of this follow the trend, cater to the algorithm mindset. I think it is the key that I've needed to unlock the door back into creative freedom. With all this bullshit, the little fame and fortune to show for it, why the hell don't I quit? I never really asked myself that truly. The idea might have knocked on my brain door for a few times over the past 15 years, but never once did I really let it in. One weekend, I did try to let it all go for a time. I played video games for hours on end, watched some movies, hung out with friends, the entire weekend. I felt the most depressed I ever felt. Every time I ever overindulge in entertainment, it just leaves a pit inside myself, inside my inner being, if you will. Perhaps if my career was more creatively fulfilling, it could elevate that, but where do I go? If I get a portfolio together and then I get hired on an ad agency to work, what? On billboard ads and website design? Or I can manage the AV equipment at some local government building or college again. I get hired under a comic book publisher and then I still have to work a job in between reaching deadlines, making stuff for someone else's stories for 20 years before I get a shot of my own at all, or work in an animation studio and have the same kind of deal. You know what? Fuck it. It's not going to happen. I've only gotten rejection letters, and perhaps now the idea to do a portfolio and demo reels seems like a good idea. We'll see if that gets any attention. That aside, the overall 15 years I made about $700 from Blip, Patreon, and YouTube combined. I barely get any views, and working on art and videos takes so much time on top of a needed full-time job. Why don't I just fucking quit all of this and waste away with the little hobby projects to occupy my time off from the job? Despite it all, despite the lack of audience, the support, the attempts to try again, the years streaming on Twitch, getting all my way up to affiliate last year, and then leaving because the audience still wasn't even there or any growth at all. The same two people show up and that's about it. The impossibility of doing anything gaming or political related at this point because it's so saturated. The art and commentary market is super saturated. The time away from family and friends. I can't hang around online chats and keep up with anyone, ever. My lack of exposure to people I know I definitely picked up from my parents, because outside of occasional conventions and arranged hangouts, I don't have the time to talk to anyone. My only real pet was our dog back when I lived with my parents. I want some ferrets. I've been teasing myself the idea of getting a couple of ferrets, at least two, you know, so that the one doesn't become lonely, stuck with a stuffed animal as their love sponge.
Because he's hormonal, he has this little otter, okay? This is his little girlfriend.
So despite all of that, despite all of that, I'm not bitter about it. I'm enjoying myself. I remember it was suggested that I go to a trade school one day and learn something along those lines of electrician, plumber, etc. Go through another few years of schooling on top of my job and just take that much more time away from the things that give me meaning to life. I just mentally went numb. I think of all the luck and friends that came into play that brought us to where we are now going to waste. I don't quit because I fucking can't. I enjoy doing art, I enjoy writing, I enjoy the process of making videos. If I could quit my fucking job to do it every day, I would do it. I would die for it, like I die for my husbands. Well, I die for them first, but let's not get all into semantics about it and distracted. I have all these ideas and stories in my brain I want to dig out and bring out into the world, not for hopes of recognition, money, or fame, but just so they fucking exist. So they exist in the real world in some tangible form instead of abstract thought. I remember the early days I started and got some attention with my furry videos. I went on DeviantArt. Yeah, I know, it's like an entry fetish site for teens too dumb to fake their age on the internet. Anyways, I came across a room hangout chat and went in there and someone's like, "Are you CraftyAndy?" "Yes, I am." "You're like a YouTube god." "Oh, wow, CraftyAndy's here? I thought he'd be too cool to show up to a room like this." All over some videos I made. I've had young people come up to me and said my videos made them when they were a kid. Like, damn, glad I could help. I got invited to parties, I got recognized.
You look just like a Crafty Andy.
I made it myself.
Crafty Andy. Crafty Andy, Crafty Andy, Crafty Andy.
What's going on?
How do you do, Crafty Andy?
Oh, pretty good.
It's been a long time.
So here's this guy just a year before 2009 who wanted to be a ghost, to never be seen or heard, to never draw any public attention, who was out there having a second chance to make some true friends and experience a little life. And that I did. Despite the few insecurities I had yet to stamp out around that time, the fear that this could end up like high school all over again, only instead of being beaten up at school, I'd be fired and blacklisted from participating in anything, I managed to stay creative, occasionally speak my mind, and not leave a trail of damaged people, regrettable actions. At least not long-lasting regrettable actions.
Take it away!
Of course, here I am talking like it's over. Bitch, I'm just getting fucking started. These are just my thoughts, though. Eye Patch Wolf, I owe you a cookie and a loving slap on the ass for this. Take care of yourself. Comment me ideas for topics and art, subscribe, like, and share. Patreon for early videos and artwork. Art prints are for sale along with other merch at the online store link. Weirdzora's channel for some real weird stuff. Pause Off for gaming highlights from the Pause Off Live on twitch.tv. CraftyAndy Hangouts for art and video making live streams. Discord group under the title Horny Jail Alliance where you can interact with me and other creators. That's it, now get out of here!